Pray for blessing, pray for better living. Are you feeling good tonight? This thing got me thanking God for life.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are being safe right now due to the whole, corona outbreak. Make sure you guys are self-isolating and don't forget to be productive. Keep your mind busy. Just try and do whatever little things that you can do every day that will make you happy. Mine is editing or making these little videos for you guys. So this is an old video that I did before the lockdown started, and I'm just getting around to uploading the contents for you guys. So we're doing a large triangle knotless braids, so I'm gonna let you guys watch and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. So this is my client's very first time getting box braids or any kind of braids. So she wanted to do something large because, she didn't want to sit for too long, and she had just gotten her tooth removed. So she was in a little bit of pain while we were doing this video, but she was such a good sport, and we were done just in time. So yeah, the braids came out really nice. As you can see, I'm making sure I get the triangles correct. I feel like with large braids it's very important to make sure your triangles are as defined and as crisp as possible because it's more noticeable. The more spaces you have in between, the more noticeable your lines are. So it's very important to have clean lines and yeah, just making sure everything looks good and smooth. So I'm applying some shine and jam just to clean up the perimeter, and then I proceed on to doing a 3-strand braid, and then I begin to feed in the braiding hair into the braids and just braid it along with the hair. So when I'm at the front, I like to kind of place the baby hair where I want them to be, just so, you know, whatever hair needs to be tucked into the braids, I kind of swoop it towards the braids so that way I can braid it along pretty easily and it's not awkwardly hanging out when I'm done. So yeah, that's, I don't know, it just makes your work, it just gives you less work to do by the time you're done. So I like to use my Shine and Jam for edges, or it depends on the texture of the client's hair. For her, a hair texture, Shine and Jam could all hold her edges for like a short amount of time. But you could use the Argan Oil Extra Hold if you have more of a coarser texture and your edges require something a little bit more strong to, you know, to lay flat. People always ask me, you know, do I think the knotless technique is safe? What are my overall opinions of the knotless technique? I feel like with every technique or in every new hairstyle that comes up in the market or social media, I feel like it doesn't always fit everybody directly. I feel like with every hair texture, there's always a little tweaking or customization that needs to be done, and I'll explain why. So with the knotless technique, if your hair is thinner, it's very important not to overload the braiding hair in terms of weight, because if you apply too much braiding hair to thin like perimeter or just thin hair overall, especially with a technique like knotless where you're starting off with the person's braiding hair, it could be like it could start to pull on their hair, which could cause breakage. So you always want to be very careful. So yes, you can do knotless on any hair texture or hair density or whatever. However, you need to be very conscious and making sure that their hair is being protected and it's not being pulled on. Like I said, there was one time I went to do my knotless braids somewhere in Nigeria and I couldn't even keep the hair long enough because the perimeter of my hair almost felt like they added way too much braiding hair for the perimeter of my hair. I have thin hair, you know, edges, so I felt like they overloaded the braiding hair just to make it look gripped. The point of knotless braids is just to give you a safer alternative to regular box braids or with knots or whatever. So it defeats the purpose when you start gripping too tight. It defeats the purpose when you start I don't know, when you start overloading hair. It's supposed to be a safer technique, so you have to make sure you're practicing that and making sure that both you and your clients are, you know, pretty much good, because they're obviously paying more for that service. Yes, it takes more time, however, they're paying for quality and they're paying for safety and overall healthy hair. So it's important to make sure that you're actually doing it right. So be very conscious of density versus how much hair to add. And you know, if the hair is thin, obviously you wouldn't want to put, you wouldn't want to take a bigger chunks of braiding hair. You would match the density of the hair, you know, the what would you call it? You would match the density of the hair weight, like if it's thin, if it's coarse, or if it's just, you know, regular. So when I'm done, I just go ahead and trim the hair just to get off any excess hair. This is going to make sure that your work looks very neat and it doesn't have any stray hair hanging loose. So just go ahead and take your time and trim it one at a time. I used to trim in bunch, like, well, it just depends. Like, I used to do it when I want to like rush through, because trust me, after you've done a client's hair, the last thing you want to do is go back again one at a time cutting the hair, because it just like takes so much time. But you need to do it. Sometimes you just have to do it. So don't skip steps. Trust me, the reward is going to be amazing. Your client's going to appreciate it, appreciate you for it later on. So now I'm just taking some mousse and I'm applying it all over her scalp to make sure that it's moisturized, and this is going to help me later on when I use the hot towel technique or the blow dryer technique. But yeah, go ahead and apply whatever favorite brand of mousse that you like to use. And yeah, it should be fine. So I'm just, I make sure that the client is draped and I have a towel over my shoulder and I'm dipping the hair in hot water. This is gonna seal the ends and give your braids a little bit more movement, and it won't be as stiff or whatever. So taking a damp towel, making sure that the water is not leaking from the damp towel, and I'm just pressing it on her hair. This is going to relieve any tension and also going to lay down those flyaway hairs. As you can see, I have the blow dryer to kind of follow through as well to reinforce that the flyaways are being laid down and the hair is dry and ready for her to walk out. So when she's done, just go ahead and apply your edge control once again. When you were braiding the hair, you probably already did that, so at this point you wouldn't have so much to do in terms of baby hair. But yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a merry day and God bless.